Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be looking at who wants a new beginning with you. So there are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the black tourmaline. Group 2 is the amethyst. And group 3 is the rhodochrosite. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps for each group in the description box of the video if you'd like to jump ahead. Hi, Group 1. You chose the black tourmaline. So I'm going to start with some oracle cards to get a feel for who wants a new beginning with you. Group 1. Okay, so we have thoughts. So this could be somebody that you are thinking of at this very moment. This could be a confirmation that this person is thinking of you as well. This can also indicate a telepathic bond between you and this person, or somebody that you've been kind of going round and round in terms of memories of them, a desire for reconciliation, just kind of going over the experiences of the past, maybe some regrets, some longings. And we have courthouse, so this could be somebody you were married to, maybe you are in a legal separation from, or you have gotten a divorce from, or there could have been some other kind of legal issue, legal matter involving this person. And we have coffin. So again, this can indicate maybe a marriage that came to an end, a divorce, somebody that you are at a distance from, that the relationship is kind of dead and buried. So somebody from your remote past, or somebody that things have just been completely cut off with. Maybe a lack of communication beyond kind of this energy of telepathy and thinking of one another for quite some time. So I'm going to get into some tarot to get a little more clarification for you, Group 1. Who wants a new beginning with you? Okay, so we've got the King of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. The Eight of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. The High Priestess, which is Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Queen of Pentacles, so more of that earth energy. The Sun, which is Leo. And Five of Pentacles, so more earth energy. So I'm feeling right away with that King of Swords, again, a confirmation of some telepathy that might be going on, or just somebody that you've had on your mind a lot recently. Maybe you are dreaming of this person, or you're thinking of this person again after perhaps a period of separation, of having redirected your thoughts elsewhere, kind of focusing elsewhere, and all of a sudden this person is kind of coming to the forefront of your mind. You might be seeing signs about them, hearing their name a lot, just something, maybe running into people that you both knew together previously, or some circumstances are coming up in regards to places that you went with this person, things that you did, events that you went to, just reminders that are coming up. With this Eight of Pentacles, this can really indicate that this could have been a relationship that you tried to work on for quite some time to repair some of the damage, maybe to kind of work through some difficulties. This can also indicate a lot of time invested, so this could have been a very long-term relationship, a long-term marriage even, for example. And it came to the point where you perhaps felt that you were the only one willing to work on this connection. And that's what could have led to this breakup, or, this moving away from one another. With the High Priestess, this definitely indicates some secrets, kind of maybe not really revealing what you both wanted and intended for the relationship. Maybe this person was holding back a little bit from really investing fully, or from communicating any kind of difficulties that they were having, any sort of issues that they were having, just keeping that very much to themselves. With the Queen of Pentacles, this can also indicate, again, somebody that you had some kind of stability with. So you could have built a family together, you could have had a home together with this person. This can also indicate that this is somebody who in their own right is very successful in the material world. This person could be a business owner, or have some kind of upper management or ownership, kind of CEO role in their profession. This is somebody who has experienced a lot of success in that regard. With the Sun card here, I'm drawn to that child. So this could be somebody that you had children with, you have children with. This could also indicate that, again, there was some emotional immaturity in this relationship in the past. Maybe ideas of happiness, or the pursuit of happiness that this person was really directing themselves toward. It could have just been more of fleeting sort of pleasures, kind of the shiny, fancy things, sort of this energy kind of all that glitters, and getting maybe really distracted by surface level opulence. And this could have led to kind of a compromise of the sort of deep bond that was able to develop between the both of you. The things that you both valued and cherished in life in general and about the relationship could have been very different. Your ideas of happiness could have been very different. Again, this energy of kind of this person getting really distracted, or even coupled with this Queen of Pentacles, really focused on kind of, acquiring all the toys, the car, maybe, a particular house, particular, types of clothing, all the accessories, and kind of the gadgets. And that could have been something that this person really, that brought them a large sense of security. And it also really composed a large part of their satisfaction and joy in life, is the things that they have, as opposed to really emotionally investing in this connection. And with this Five of Pentacles, this can really indicate that when this connection came to an end at some point in time, that this could have meant even the dissolution of a living situation. So having to, rethink or even downsize where you were living, or even where this person was living. That something in terms of that sanctuary, that home base, really had to be sacrificed in the past when this connection kind of broke apart. So I'm going to get a little more here just for some more clarification for group one about who wants a new beginning with you. Okay, so we have patience. So this can really indicate that it's been a while since you have seen this person, a while since this kind of breakup, maybe even a divorce occurred. This can also indicate, tied in with that Eight of Pentacles, that you had tried to work on this connection, on repairing the integrity of this connection, or keeping this connection going for quite some time. A lot of time having been invested in that. This is feeling like years that had been invested in this. And so in the end, when things ended up not working between the the two of you. It almost felt this sense of having wasted your time a little bit, kind of finding out that your priorities were very different from this person, and almost the sense of that you both were kind of growing in different directions in terms of your priorities. Again, this person with all these pentacles out here, it's really feeling that this person was very much based in the material world. That was where they were willing to invest their efforts, invest their time. There's not a lot here as far as emotions. There's not a lot here as far as, working toward vulnerability or providing for anybody's emotional needs. So this could have been something that really at the time tested your patience. You tried to be patient with this person as maybe they acquired some things, status or possessions that would make them feel very secure, that would make them feel that kind of some work had been accomplished, and then it would, maybe they had even promised that at a certain point they would be able to kind of cut back on their work hours, or they were trying to achieve a certain kind of goal or milestone before they could then focus on other things like spending quality time together. So that could have been something that was sacrificed at the expense of this person pursuing these dreams and their idea of happiness. And we have blossoming abundance. So yeah, this reinforces that this is somebody who definitely, was very focused on kind of acquisitions, the things that they have, the possessions that they have, their status, not in terms of, happiness and almost like fulfilling relationships, but this feels more in terms of things, somebody who's very materially focused, and somebody who not just being materially focused, but is very successful at that, was very, very successful in this pursuit of this lifestyle or this goal or this dream. And we also have man holding a coin. So again, more emphasis there on this material world. This could be somebody who, is very financially stable, who's done very well for themselves in terms of their career and finances. And we have third chakra, Archangel Shamuel. So that's the solar plexus chakra, and this kind of in the distorted aspect of it, in the shadow aspect, this can speak to the desire for power, this quest and hunger for power, as opposed to, in a more balanced aspect, empowerment. So this can really speak that somewhere along the lines of, empowering once that this person was really seeking to empower themselves by creating a sense of stability, setting goals and reaching goals. At some point that may have gotten skewed and it turned into a love of power, a love of conquest, a love of kind of achievement, maybe forgetting the initial reasons that they had set out on this quest, kind of this end goal of happiness, maybe to provide stability for their family, opportunities for their family, comfort, or some kind of a legacy. But it feels that at some point this switched over into the realm of, just nothing being enough, just wanting more and more and more, kind of like this endless hunger and this need for power and success and things and wealth. And we also have broken heart. So this is really the artwork on here. I mean, this is such a detailed and vibrant and multi-dimensional, multi-layered depiction of a heart. So this is really speaking to me that when this relationship broke apart, it, could have really severed, again, a family, maybe children that you have with this person, a living situation, a lot of, almost this common dream that you both thought at one point in time you were building toward, and then it became apparent at some point in time that, your goals and values are very much not in alignment. Almost even a sense of maybe having waited for this person to achieve these goals, and that time came and went, and it almost feels like it could have been for nothing. When the marriage or the relationship just ended up, kind of dissolving. You might have really supported this person, maybe literally supported this person while they were going to school, while they were, trying to pursue and build this career. And then they reached this point of having this success, and then kind of pulled away from the connection. The bottom kind of dropped out from under you, to where all that time and that patience and that energetic support you had provided to this person, that when they reached a certain level, they almost, it feels almost like left you behind, or left the, you know, the dream that you had initially both started out building toward. They chose to move in another direction, and this is something which could have taken a long time for you to heal from. You could still be kind of closed off to love, very perhaps, you know, and it seems like with good reason, kind of leery about this person, wanting a new beginning, wanting to come back in. That there's, you know, a lot of deep pain here. Pain that goes, you know, beyond just what was sacrificed or lost in the material world. But, you know, this almost, with this King of Swords and this thoughts, it feels like something, almost thinking about ways you could have, with this, you know, third chakra, kind of asserted yourself better, really put your needs before this person. You could be going kind of back and forth about being a little hard on yourself about the ways that you allowed this person's dreams and goals to kind of overshadow your needs. And so you could be sitting in this stage of really having a lot of blame and regret on yourself for what took place in the past, or kind of what you tolerated from this person or were willing to overlook, while supporting them in the pursuit of what they, you know, were working toward in their life. So I'm going to get some messages for you now from this person's higher self. What do they want to say to you? Group 1. All right, and they say, sometimes you don't listen and it really upsets me. So this person, I don't know, it feels that there's not a lot happening here, at least in the past, as far as the emotions. This is somebody who maybe had a hard time really talking about love, expressing their feelings, expressing their desires. This could have been somebody who really just sort of demonstrated love through things. And so there's almost a disconnect here as far as almost like the implied meaning behind, you know, maybe when they were focusing more on work. Kind of pulling away from the connection in the past, that this was really indicating that there was some wound within them, some kind of, you know, a fear of inadequacy that had been triggered, and that this was really the motivation for this kind of, this pursuit of this opulence or this material success. But it doesn't feel like something they could have really articulated that, maybe even that they really understood about themselves. But from their higher self, they're almost wishing that you would have been able to see beyond their actions and recognize this wound that has been kind of festering within them and has sort of been the motivation for how they've been living their life. And it's something too where there's also this element of them being upset with themselves for not having a better way of conveying that, recognizing that where they chose to focus themselves, that it really, you know, it depleted and deprived the relationship of the happiness that you once shared. As they're kind of looking back on things with this desire of a new beginning, they're starting to recognize the role that they have taken in the past to really kind of going astray from this, kind of moving beyond this shared goal or dream that you both started off with having. And then it was almost the priority shifted for them again into this energy of almost this like hunger, this love of power. And it's something where there's some blame that's they are taking on themselves as they're thinking back about this, that, you know, they maybe should have expressed to you more what their motivations were, what they were thinking and feeling, in order to kind of spare you some of these hurt feelings and this questioning about maybe why they were spending more time focusing on work, maybe why that was taking a priority, why these goals that they had for themselves were just so unshakable. You know, a lot of maybe some core wounds about how they grew up. Maybe money was really tight for them, or their living situation was very precarious. And by not really explaining this a lot, or, you know, bringing this up in great detail to you, you might not have been able to appreciate then how this translated into their adult life and this desire that they had to create stability for themselves, to create a different legacy for their children than what they grew up in, to, you know, build a different kind of life than the environment in which they were in previously. Okay, and they also say, I blocked my heart because I needed to heal. I was in fear. Please understand. So this person definitely feels like somebody who in the past was really, you know, again, focusing on kind of these material conquests because the fear of vulnerability and kind of the fear of loss and love. They may have witnessed some heartbreak in their childhood and how that could have really rocked the foundations of the family. They could have watched a parent who was not able to recover from the grief of maybe a loss, perhaps the literal death of a spouse or partner, or from some kind of a divorce. And they really maybe came to understand how much that person, that parent, that parental figure had invested their own kind of sense of self-worth, their own stability, maybe even being financially reliant upon another partner, and that when that situation crumbled, that it almost led to this period of not being able to find that stability, not being able to recover in the heart space. And so this person kind of learned to just kind of block off emotions, to focus instead on building this security and stability and independence for themselves, so that regardless of what happened in the emotional realm in terms of love, that they at least would have that solid foundation for them. This again feels like something that they didn't really get into the details of that for you, and so their actions could have been perceived as a pulling away, as a not prioritizing, not wanting to invest or value this connection, when instead it really feels like it was stemming from a place of kind of this this fear of loss that they had, which in general, which is really motivating them to create some kind of a very solid and stable foundation, so that if other situations in their life kind of fell away or were compromised, they would still at least have that ability to take care of themselves, to make sure that their needs were met in kind of a physical and tangible way. All right, and they say, can you please forgive me and let go of the past? So this could be something that they're wanting to tell you. They're wanting to come in and start again. Something has been made clear to this person, maybe a level of success that they have reached. And they're still filled with this, almost this void within their soul of something missing. And they're reflecting then with this, the card of thoughts and the King of Swords. They're looking back on the past and they're seeing that they have left something very important behind, or their actions have really put at a distance something important. They've really broken apart a key part of their happiness with the Sun card here in the broken heart, that the relationship coming to a conclusion, coming to an end, perhaps a very painful end with the both of you. This is something that it has diminished their long-term happiness going forward, and so they're almost in this energy of wanting to kind of come back around and maybe open up a little more emotionally, be a little more vulnerable than they had been in the past, to kind of work to rebuild, repair the foundation between the both of you. And they also say, you are always around me. I just need my space. Please don't take it personal. So this can really speak to, again, this energy of this person really focusing on work, really prioritizing success, opulence, coming to define their worth by the things that they have, and really having kind of being this work in progress as far as understanding that they need to invest a little more emotionally into their relationships, into their connections. But it's something that they're having a hard time kind of breaking away from that tendency to, just focus on things which are very kind of predictable and quantifiable, like success at, work, titles, finances. And so this person, they feel like they're in this energy of, really opening up their heart, delving into their emotions, speaking to the root behind their actions, the root motivations. This is something that's very new for them. It's very uncomfortable for them. And so they're still in this period of kind of pulling away from that. When the emotions are triggered, or kind of this period of where vulnerability might be the best medicine for the kind of the problem that they're facing, or, they're kind of at this point of recognizing how they have, in essence, been acting in kind of a disservice to their interpersonal relationships, maybe being a little bit emotionally unavailable for their children, being, physically their time is just spent at work, building the career, building the finances. And it's something to where they're recognizing that the people around them are being hurt by that or taking that very personally. But it's something that they don't feel that they're very equipped, although, they seem to be in this state of at least recognizing that they need to kind of work on their communication skills. They need to, they're thinking about this, they're reflecting about this, the results that their actions have yielded, the toll that this has taken on the relationships and the people that matter most to them. But they're still kind of a work in progress as far as being able to really open up, maybe communicate some of their own needs or the motivations behind their actions. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit for you, Group 1, about this connection. Okay, and we have be willing to forgive. Ask the angels to clear your mind and body of past pain in exchange for peacefulness. So this really speaks to, this person being kind of a work in progress. They've done the most important part of this transformational process, which again is really recognizing and admitting to themselves that something needs to change. They may still be in the process of kind of finding some tools to do that for themselves, working on their communication skills, recognizing that they need to maybe pull back some of their energy from, the work, the career, the finances, the things, the opulence, and that more of that energy needs to be invested into cultivating, feelings of goodwill and harmony, investing their time in experiences with those that they love. If they have children, being a more active role in those children's life as a parent, in terms of the relationship, with you, or even romance in general. They're starting to recognize how they have maybe been kind of emotionally unavailable in partnerships where they may have provided, material gifts or kind of a lifestyle of comfort. There was something lacking in terms of, the vulnerability, kind of the sort of building up that emotional bond. And so it's something that, they have this desire to start again. They have this desire to try and repair the damage of the past, to almost have a rebirth of this. But they're still in this process of trying to kind of figure out how to do that. What's that going to look like? What is required of them? So if this person reaches out to you, that's definitely an important first step. They may surprise you even with some of the things that they talk about, some of the ways in which they open up, which could be quite different for what this person could be very practically minded, very logically minded, very detached from their emotional body, and so you may sense some kind of a shift in them. It might be a small step, but you're kind of guided to have some compassion, some understanding that this is a process with them. Be willing to work with them to help them to open up, honor their vulnerability as they are able to express that. And the more that happens, the more that they are given kind of that platform to voice what's on their heart and sort of work into that process of opening their heart and really tapping into those emotions, expressing those emotions, they'll become more comfortable with that. This is definitely feels like a situation where, forgiveness it can definitely be very healing for this person. It doesn't feel like they were coming out of a place of malice. It just feels that their priorities were kind of misdirected, but with a good purpose. It was for the purpose almost of, having that stability, having that foundation, being able to provide a really nice life, being able to contribute to a really nice life. But somewhere along the lines, they kind of lost sight of that original goal, those original values. And it seems like as a change is really taking place, as things are really occurring to this person and they're wanting to come back and maybe start again, that if it's something that you're open to, doing, that forgiveness can go a long way toward leading to happier times and a new beginning, and a deepening of the commitment and kind of building upon those areas that were maybe lacking with this person the first time around. So I'm going to get some initials now for you, Group 1. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out. All right, so we have S, R, T, A, V, L, E, G, and J. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the Amethyst. So I'm going to start with some oracle cards to get a feel for who wants a new beginning with you for group 2. Okay, so we have change. So this could be somebody that lives at a distance from you, somebody who, maybe changed their mind about the connection in the past, somebody who was working on things with you and kind of changed their priorities, changed what they want, or, was pretty indecisive maybe in the past as well, couldn't really make up their mind. And we have bad health. So this could be somebody that was literally going through some health problems, is currently going through some health problems. Maybe this has served as kind of a wake-up call for this person, kind of putting things in perspective for them. They may have had a close call about something or kind of a health scare that has caused them to kind of reevaluate themselves, to reevaluate the choices that they made in their life, maybe change their mind about this partnership or about some direction that they had moved in their life previously. And we also have thief. So this really speaks to somebody who maybe you almost felt was wasting your time, or there was some kind of energy of deception in the past, saying one thing, but then their actions really kind of dictating another. Or again, coupled with this energy of change, where at one point in time, maybe you had been kind of very much aligned, working toward the same sort of relationship goals, and then at some point maybe they just kind of cut things off, ghosted you, kind of left very suddenly, moved in an opposite direction, moved toward a different partner even, with very little notice. This could have come very much as a shock, very surprising to you. This could also be somebody where, even with this thief card, where you feel almost that this person stole your heart. In other words, where you've not really been able to get over this connection. You've not really been able to find success in love since you were with this person, or since kind of the road that you both were taking, since that changed. Maybe you both went into opposite directions. This could have been something also which has led to a lot of anxiety, a lot of sleepless nights. It could have really made your emotional and mental health suffer with kind of this worry and this uncertainty, maybe some feelings of depression, having a really hard time getting beyond that, getting beyond the grief of the loss of this connection previously. So I'm going to get some tarot to get some more clarification about this for you. Group 2, who wants a new beginning with you? Okay, so we have the Two of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And this again speaks to somebody who is at a distance from you, who has maybe had also some kind of shift in perspective. Their worldview has changed, their priorities have changed, perhaps because of a health scare, or just really not finding what they were looking for, wherever it is that they set off to, discover that. This is somebody who, may also be kind of at a distance in your life, to where maybe you're hearing about them from afar. Some news may have come in recently about this person. You may have heard about some of these challenges or difficulties that they have faced, or this could even be somebody that maybe you've run into recently after a period of time, and what you're seeing about them, they're very changed. They are seeing you as a very changed person. Maybe something where, they had kind of avoided this connection, moved away from this in the past, changed their mind, and what they are hearing or seeing about you, or if they've, seen you out and about, seen you from afar, it's really shifting their perspective on things. It's really making them kind of question the decision that they made before. And we have the Ace of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So this speaks to, again, this desire to have this new beginning, to make this offer of love, where they may have really withdrawn their love, retracted their love in the past. That this is something where kind of they've had this shift. They've reconsidered things. They've changed their mind about that. They're starting to see you as this wish fulfillment, where they may have kind of overlooked that before. If they had kind of chosen to even change course, change directions, focus on other things, love has once again become a priority for this person. And we have the King of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So this can indicate a telepathic bond that you have about this person. This can also talk about some clarity that has come to them if they were kind of indecisive before, had kind of pulled away from the connection before, changed their mind about wanting to really work on things. This speaks to this certainty, this determination, this decision that has been made as far as what they want in their life, what needs to be done in order to, maybe even create some peace and calm within the situation for both of you. This understanding perhaps even that an apology is necessary, really having become aware of the emotional toll, maybe even, kind of the mental toll that the situation with them in the past has caused you, maybe having gone through something very similar in their own experience, and that it has really been the wake-up call that is necessary, that they need to come in and deliver this truth. They need to come in and deliver an explanation to at least, if they are hoping for this new beginning, to, this knowledge that things need to be very clear. They need to talk through things. They need to be willing to have an open dialogue, to be able to, receive any kind of pain or kind of distress that you have, to listen to that as opposed to really run from that. This could have been something that really, somebody in the past that had a hard time with emotional vulnerability, kind of somebody that when difficulties arose, their response was to just kind of pull away or flee from that with the Thief card here. And instead, this is almost this evolution that has taken place, this desire to remain present through difficult conversations, to really work through and talk through things. And we have the Empress, which is Libra and Taurus. So this speaks to, wanting to create this abundance with you, seeing you, having changed their mind about you, about the connection, recognizing you as almost this counterpart or this soulmate energy, seeing you as somebody that they could really have a lot of success, have a lot of abundance with in the material world. You're somebody that they could really grow with, that they're seeing you as somebody who has created a lot of joy and happiness and abundance for yourself in your own right. They're recognizing you as somebody, very, very abundant, where they may have not really seen that before. They could have even been somebody who, maybe they were worried about being taken advantage of with that Thief card. This could be somebody that, had sort of some bad experiences in love previously, where people were only using them as a matter of convenience, not really recognizing or respecting who they are as a person, but just merely for what they could provide in a variety of ways, emotional or even some tangible ways. And so they could have very quickly judged the situation, assuming that you would be just like all the others, but that something has shifted, something has changed, to where they're seeing that you are in fact exceptional from anybody they had, been with previously, or, you were so outside of what their perceptions were of you, or just their ideas and perceptions on love in general have changed to where they're starting to value this more. They're starting to recognize your worth, the worth of, the bond that you shared at one point in time. And there's this desire to kind of move back in that direction, to honor that, to honor you in ways that they may have kind of overlooked or underappreciated. And we also have the Tower, which is Aries energy. So this can again speak to some kind of a wake-up call that this person has had, maybe some kind of a health scare that has really changed things for them. It's really shifted things for them. This is almost the energy as well of recognizing what you have now that it's gone. So if this person had chosen to move in another direction, pursue somebody else, for example, it seems that that situation has come crumbling down. That could have been a situation which also took a toll on this person, led to a lot of anxiety, conflict, stress, which may have manifested physically for them. Something where, almost with that Thief card, where their joy was being sucked away from them, their life force was being diminished. And it has caused them through that experience to be able to then have this new perspective on quite the opposite that they were experiencing with you, where there was a sense of being nourished, a sense of being uplifted, a sense of really kind of supporting each other energetically through your connection. And then on the flip side of that, being in a situation maybe with somebody who was really depleting them, really taking from them, as opposed to an energy of equal give and take. And we also have the Three of Swords, so more air energy. And this again speaks to, this heartbreak, this deep and profound sense of loss. Also with that Thief card, this sense that this person feels that they've kind of cheated themselves out of this opportunity for happiness, that they are realizing that they maybe walked away from a counterpart, from a soulmate, from somebody that could really have, worked well with them to help them to sort of manifest their dreams in the here and now in the material world. So there's a lot of heartbreak that they're having to work through, to transcend through, based on their decisions in the past in regards to this connection, and even perhaps some other heartbreaks that have really closed them off to love, and that really then kind of were the motivation for what occurred, or the ways in which they may have kind of pushed this away, or kind of run from the connection at a certain point in the past. So let me get a few more oracle cards to get some more clarification for you, group 2, about who wants a new beginning with you. Okay, so we have victory. So this definitely speaks to, somebody who wants to kind of turn the tides between you, shift the situation between you, move from a state of defeat into a better direction. This speaks about, this return, this showing up in a higher way than they may have previously, really feeling very lucky as well to have met you, cherishing and valuing your energy and your contribution to their life in a way that they may have kind of overlooked that previously. And we have financial constraints. So this definitely can speak to that, almost this fear that they may have had in the past, this fear of loss, this fear of only being valued for what they could provide to somebody. Maybe a relationship in the past, a breakup or a divorce that really rocked their financial situation, rocked their stability in the material world. And that going forward, this is something they could have been seeking to avoid a repeat of, and that could have then resulted in them kind of not giving this connection a chance, or pushing you away. This can also speak to some of that change that has happened, part of that wake-up call for them. They may have had something kind of unfortunate happen with their finances, some kind of an end to a job, or some kind of major setback that has really put them into this state of kind of reflection, this dark night of the soul, maybe even some depression, and it's really caused them to have to shift their perspective, shift their priorities, really change their mind about what it was they were investing in. This can even talk about some lifestyle choices that this person has made, maybe even something to do with addictions, or just, anything that they were really having to support and pay for or invest toward that just served to kind of deplete them, as opposed to really help to build their stability, build that abundance. It's something which really took from them, really broke them down. And through all of that, they've really had to have a change of heart, change of perspective, a change of an approach. And we also have first chakra, Archangel Michael. So this speaks to the root chakra and, this sense of stability, this sense of, safety, of comfort, which is something I feel this person is really operating from a distorted kind of perspective of that, almost this energy of paranoia, really fearing that others would take advantage of them or would lead them into ruin. And by doing that, by pushing things away, by pushing the gift of love away, they in essence kind of sabotaged an opportunity for themselves. They by doing that made a choice to really stay bound to some heartbreaks of the past. They gave a lot of their power away to those situations by kind of allowing that to be at the forefront of the way in which they would approach love and new opportunities and people moving forward. This is something where this connection in you might have been really misjudged, kind of based on some experiences that they'd had with somebody in the past. So So this is kind of coming to this person's awareness, just how much power they are continuing to give over to a heartbreaking situation, that although something has ended in the past, that heartbreak and that control, that energy of almost maybe like a previous partner who really took from them, it is continuing into their present in the ways in which it continues to take from this person's ability to really open up to and experience love with others. And we have man holding a coin. So this can, again, speak to this, almost this fear of loss, fear of maybe a feeling of unworthiness, of not really feeling that they are valued for who they are, but merely for what they could provide. And that this is something that they could have really misjudged you as somebody who was only interested in that aspect of them. You could have been somebody who, when you were last dealing with this person, you were kind of in the process of kind of establishing your finances, establishing, your abundance, your success. And because of where you were at currently at that place in your life, this person could have really sort of dismissed this connection, judged this connection, and now they've kind of had this change of heart. They are seeing that you're in this very independent energy. You're able to really provide and manifest for yourself. And so there's this sense of regret for having focused too much even on the surface appearance of things. And we also have all tied up. So this speaks to, being bound to kind of these ghosts of the past, these experiences of the past, the heartbreak of the past that this person has experienced. It's still very much having an active role in their current reality. They are still bound to those memories. And this person feels like they have at least acknowledged that. They're in this process of wanting to kind of release those energetic ties, those tethers to some negative kind of narratives about love, or some experiences in love in the past that really served to, lead to heartbreak and kind of break things down for them, really took from them, left them very depleted. And in the process of kind of needing to unravel themselves from that, there is also this desire to kind of unbind the both of you from, maybe this very kind of broken energy that you could be in, this energy of rejection, this energy of having really turned away from this connection, pulled away, cut things off. It's kind of left you maybe in this place of, having your hands tied, not really being able to, communicate or move forward with this person. Still being in some way tethered to that experience in the past. And so there is this desire to kind of move forward and liberate the both of you from that, and to hopefully, with a changed perspective, embark on kind of working toward being that healing for each other through building new and better experiences together moving forward. So I'm going to get some messages now from this person's higher self for you, group 2. What do they want to say? All right, and they say, I am afraid to tell you the truth. Please just listen to what I have to say. So they're hesitating a little as far as wanting to, approach, and they're not really sure how, you would take that. The knowledge that you were perhaps misjudged, the situation was misjudged, the connection was cut off before it even had a chance to really grow into a very beautiful place because of kind of these experiences of the past that this person had had. There's a sense of knowing that this would be an uncomfortable conversation. It's something which would probably lead to some confusion and indignation on your part, that you were being held responsible for the actions of somebody else who was careless with this person's heart previously. But it's a conversation with this King of Swords that this person knows needs to happen to really clear the air between the both of you. They're hoping that you will give them a chance to really express their side of things, explain their side of things, maybe give some background to you as far as an explanation for their actions, so that you can both at least free yourself of the confusion, the misunderstanding, and get into this kind of level and unencumbered ground together, where you're then able to try to build something new and build upon more of a level of a foundation of honesty than what had been the situation between you previously. All right, and they say, I cherish those moments we spent together. I miss you. So they're thinking back on the past, this changed perspective, changing their mind, recognizing your value and how they may have misjudged you, and how, just looking more closely at the times they spent with you, looking more closely at who you are, even looking closely at who you've become, and recognizing the ways in which you are so different from maybe some kind of toxic partners they were dealing with in the past in love. Okay, and they say, I was being selfish, I'm sorry. So they're really admitting that they weren't seeing things from your perspective. They weren't taking your feelings into account. This person was really operating from a very wounded and almost a self-destructive place, where they were really pushing away and again holding, I feel, not just you, but other subsequent partners to whatever this heartbreak was in the past, this very kind of depleting and damaging situation for them, holding many different people accountable for that, expecting these people to kind of live up to an ideal, or live up to even a false perception that this person had put in place, and the ways maybe in which you or other people had demonstrated actions that are contrary to that. It's almost like the fact that you weren't living up to this very pessimistic view this person had, then they were determining that that was something wrong. And so there was almost this expectation that love could only be bad for them, love could only be disappointing for them, and the lack of disappointment really was contrary to their expectations, and so they kind of pushed this away in the pursuit of someone who could reinforce that narrative that they have for themselves, that love would be something that would hurt, that would cost them, that would take from them. And at a certain point, then they've gotten to this breaking point with that, where they are realizing that they really have cost themselves opportunities at joy and satisfaction. All right, and they say, sometimes I feel like you don't listen to me. So this person really, they were wishing that people could really understand the pain that is behind perhaps these actions to just kind of ghost or pull away or kind of push away good things. A lot of pain that this person, a wounded place that this person has been kind of operating from. And without really expressing these things, no one can, be able to acknowledge those and to try to do things to dispel some of those misconceptions. So this feels like something where this person also is kind of, they're sort of getting down on themselves as well. They're almost scolding themselves for not listening to their own heart, to not listening to this inclination to move in your direction, to move closer to you, because you in fact would have been almost this remedy for them, this proof of something different in love, kind of rewriting that story for them. And so it feels like they were very much compelled in your direction previously, and just kind of squashed things before they really had the opportunity to grow and develop into an even more beautiful space. And in the time since that has occurred, and they have had a chance to really sit in this misery, maybe some other things have kind of crumbled down, other choices or directions that they've chosen to go in that has kind of cost them more and more, particularly at a level of an emotional toll, that this is all kind of shifted, and they're moving in this direction of listening to their heart, moving in the direction that their heart is calling them, opening up their heart and wanting to really free themselves from these tethers to the pains of the past, and then as kind of a byproduct of that, to free the both of you from the energetic tethers to what occurred with you previously. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit for you, group 2, about this situation. Okay, so we have cut your cords. Ask Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments to fear that stem from past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. So that is a great message from Spirit, because that definitely sums up this energy of, being bound to this heartbreak here, and this desire that this person has to free the both of you from any kind of miscommunication, misunderstanding, or the way in which they may have misjudged you or the connection previously. So you're definitely guided that in the meantime, prior to this person coming in, and most especially for yourself, to, you know, maybe call in Archangel Michael to help you, you know, with his fiery sword to cut through that energy, those energy cords that are binding you and keeping you stuck to this pain, this confusion of the past with this person. Regardless of if they are able to come in and, you know, really try to initiate that new beginning with you, try to, you know, provide that healing. It's very important that you do this work by yourself and for yourself first and foremost, to really liberate yourself, to not kind of go down the same path that this person has gone down through their own experiences in love in the past and the way in which they dealt with them. You're really being called to not allow this situation with this person to limit your experiences of love in the future, to move at a space that is comfortable with you, but to at least continue to make steady progress in the direction of opening your heart again, kind of rewriting narratives for yourself, moving into more of a perspective of optimism, not fearing that the same thing will happen to you in love over and over again, which is kind of the space that this person was operating from. So this is a very it's a unique and critical moment for you in conjunction with this, you know, connection with this person to, you know, even beyond this, kind of bring to mind some ways in which love may have disappointed you or hurt you previously, and kind of looking at what ways has that then been kind of limiting or constraining your ability to trust in love, your ability to experience love, kind of the stories you're telling yourself that are then sort of magnetizing in experiences and people that are a reflection of that, kind of the self-fulfilling prophecy that now is the time to cut away from these old storylines, these old experiences, and to free yourself to move in a new direction. So I'm going to get some initials now. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out. All right, so we have W, N, M, O, H, P, Q, and T. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the Rhodochrosite. So I'm going to start with some oracle cards to get a feel for who wants a new beginning with you. Group 3. Okay, so we have poverty. So this could be somebody that you're really feeling the loss of the connection with them. There's a hole in your heart that just has not been able to be filled by anybody else. Their absence is very acutely felt for you. There's a sense also of, really missing the time spent together, really missing the companionship, maybe also missing, the advice or the wisdom that this person had to give to you. And we have high honor. So this could be somebody, again, a connection that you held in very high regard. You could have considered this person a soulmate, a twin flame. This could have been somebody that, you were married to. So they had the title of your spouse. You saw this person as, just almost this wish fulfillment, somebody that you had very high expectations for the future of the connection, these high hopes of where you could go. This could be somebody also kind of with this scene of battle here where, there could have been a lot of kind of fights and disagreements in this connection, kind of as it came to the point of dissolving, of kind of falling apart. And that it's something where every time these things happened, maybe the things that were said, kind of the reactions or the explosive, the fights or just the interactions, it could have really, led to some very wounding words, a feeling of being impoverished, hurt at a very deep level, really hitting below the belt with some of the kind of interactions, the things that were said, just kind of very callous things that were said, just very uncaring things, almost feeling very much at odds with this person in terms of maybe even the goals and the hopes for the relationship going forward. And we have community. So this could be somebody that maybe you live in some kind of a small town, for example, a small community. And so, this person, although you're not together, there's constant reminders of this person. You see them around. Maybe they are in a new connection, a new relationship. Maybe they've, married somebody else and had a family. And this is something that, you're seeing, you're aware of. There could be some kind of a connection to between both of your families. Maybe there is some other kind of community connection, some kind of a religious connection, some kind of spiritual group that you're a part of. This can also really speak to, seeing this person online, maybe recognizing the ways in which, their life has kind of improved, or at least on the surface has improved, and that it's filling you with even more of a sense of loss, a sense of longing for this person, a longing for what could have been, the life that you two were supposed to build together, but that, other things got in the way. With this high honor in this battle, this can even indicate other people interfering with this connection in the past. So maybe this person taking the opinions of others to heart when it came to this connection. This person really, being in this energy of wanting to people please, or wanting to, an expectation maybe that a family or a community had for them as far as who an ideal partner for them would be, what that would look like, that it's something that instead of following their own heart, they took the opinions of these other people into consideration and really deprived the connection of the emotional investment that they were really longing to give, that the connection deserved. This could be something also where, they may have hidden the connection, really hidden you from, friends and family, almost making you feel very kind of ashamed or unworthy to be, seen and recognized by these other people in this person's life. And this is something which, could really have led to, this sting within you in terms of really eroding your own sense of worthiness, maybe making you question your own value, wondering, why love would not just be able to really conquer some of these obstacles. questioning why this person was not willing to fight more for this connection, but was willing to just kind of fold to the expectations of others. So let's get some tarot now to get some clarification about this for you. Group 3, who wants a new beginning with you? Okay, so we have the 4 of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So this is talking about somebody who's very stubborn, very unwilling to see maybe the opportunity, the blessing that this connection provided, very just focused on maybe what was expected of them, trying to fit into this mold that others had dictated for them, and not recognizing that what they were being offered was something different. It was coming from a different place. This love was almost like coming down from the higher realms, that what was being offered, this was almost divinely placed in their path, the meeting between the two of you. But this person was at the time, very unwilling to see that, unwilling to acknowledge that even. This can also fit in with that energy of really, hiding the connection or hiding you from friends or family, being unwilling perhaps even to recognize you in a public sense, to acknowledge in a public sense that they had feelings for you, or, that their heart was being drawn to you, or that you were the person that they chose, being unwilling to choose this connection over kind of the input of other people, or what had traditionally been demonstrated to them as an acceptable type of love, an acceptable sort of flavor of love, what relationships should look like. And we also have the 9 of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So this can really speak to somebody who in their own right is very independent minded. Somebody who, although there's this energy of really people pleasing, it's something to where, they almost feel that they've kept themselves at a distance from love. This is somebody who's been very much on kind of a solo path. Nobody kind of matches up with that expectation. Nobody is kind of good enough to, bring around this family, or according to this, family or community, nobody really is good enough for this person. Everybody that they may have expressed interest for in the past, that they've really been judged for that. And so they have maybe instead chosen to just remain kind of single, for fear of really being scorned or mocked over their choices in love. This is somebody who could have also really chosen to just focus on finances, on career, maybe excluding love. That could have been a reason they were sort of hiding this romance, hiding these feelings, because there was an expectation placed upon them that certain things needed to be accomplished. They had to achieve certain things within their life, or they had come to believe that for themselves before they were willing to really invest and develop a romantic connection. And we also have the Empress. So this can speak to counterpart energy, and this person really being a soulmate, really recognizing you as a very unique and nurturing presence in their life, but feeling this need to almost hide that away, almost a feeling of unworthiness also, not being able to kind of meet the expectations, not being able to be the kind of person that was a worthy and adequate match for you. And so that might have resulted in, instead of kind of doing that work or what was necessary to really step up to that level, to really ascend beyond kind of this very limited view of life and this limited experience of life that they had had up to this point, that they instead chose to just kind of focus on things that were simpler, that were more manageable, kind of not embarking upon more of the ascension aspects of the connection. And we also have the Strength card. So this really speaks to the battle of head over heart. This person really torn between just kind of throwing caution to the wind, kind of defying the expectations, changing the plan, deviating from the plan, kind of venturing out into the unknown. Perhaps they felt there was some kind of a risking of a legacy or risking of approval to move in the direction of this connection in the past, and really fighting themselves between between following their heart and doing what was expected of them. And in the process of doing that and really making that choice to kind of go with what was just sort of presented to them as the proper and acceptable option or the proper and acceptable route, they almost feel like somebody who is filled with a sense of fear and foreboding, because knowing deep inside that they were choosing a path that was not in alignment with them. And every step further away from this connection that they were taking was a step further away from what was a very destined and blessed occurrence in their life, the meeting of you, the interaction between the both of you, and that their road was taking them, and the choices they were making was taking them kind of further and further into this realm of peril in terms of the possibility of, this deep emotional resonance with another soul, this deep emotional fulfillment, this higher love becoming further and further away for them, kind of increasing the difficulty for themselves of being able to, recapture that feeling, or kind of the more time went on, the more they may have kind of rejected you or hidden this, that it was creating more and more conflict that would need to then be worked out between the both of you. It was making the situation, more difficult than it needed to be. And we also have, and with the Strength card, that's Leo energy. With the Seven of Swords, we have air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So this really speaks to, this person being kind of duplicitous, maybe investing a little bit in this connection, but then, telling other people that they weren't interested, telling other people that, their sights were set elsewhere, that this was something they did not want to invest in, kind of giving a lot of credence to the words of others as well, letting other people's opinions and words hold weight, and moving in that direction. But then also in this card, he's looking back at these other two swords. So this doesn't feel like a decision that they were, bound and determined to do, that there's a little bit of regret almost in that energy of feeling that the more they were moving in the direction of what others expected, the more it was almost at their peril, that they were distancing themselves from something that was really compelling them, something that was very, rich and fulfilling, and nurturing and exciting. And they're instead moving off into this kind of, this sort of comfortable and lackluster life that had been determined for them, this kind of safe and predictable existence. And as they're moving in that direction, they're getting further and further from this sort of higher level, destiny, this very kind of new and novel experience that could be quite different from what others around them may have even experienced in love. This can also speak to, this person really kind of ghosting you or just kind of cutting things off very abruptly. This can also speak to, some very kind of explosive things that were said, or some very blunt things that were said, some kind of blunt rejection that left a lasting impression upon you, these wounds upon you, as far as, the things that they said, maybe kind of a callous or an uncaring way of cutting things off. And we also have the Eight of Swords, so more of that air energy. And this can speak to, this energy of being blocked, also coupled with that Seven of Swords, so ghosting you and then blocking you. So communication having been cut off, there being no way for you to really work around this, or the explanations that they gave for you, or the things that they were putting priority on, belief systems or expectations of their community or family, that these were really barriers that you didn't really see a way around. It was so deeply entrenched, maybe even the opinions of many people kind of standing in the way of you, being almost a gatekeeper between you and this person. And it's something where, there has been no ability to kind of reach this person, to sort of reach that sanctuary of what you could have had together. And it's almost left you no choice but to kind of move forward blindly, not knowing if this person would ever come back, not knowing if this person, how they really felt, because what they were presenting and projecting to you, it almost feels that it was so... It was so colored with the opinions of other people. This is almost this energy of this person kind of parroting what other people might have said that felt very disingenuous to you. It may have left you feeling very confused, very trapped, not really being able to see beneath the surface of that, but knowing that there was more to what was said or what happened than what meets the eye. So I'm going to get a few more oracle cards for you. Group 3 to get some more clarification about this. Who wants a new beginning with you? Okay, so we have man holding a heart. So this is definitely, some kind of a deep soulmate bond, a deep love, somebody you still have a lot of love for despite what has happened, somebody where there was a lot of tangible kind of chemistry, a tangible connection between the both of you. And so it may have been kind of confusing as far as, what went wrong, why this person wasn't able to just follow their heart, why they had kind of chosen to maybe move in the direction of the opinions of others at the expense of their own kind of happiness. And we have woman holding a heart. So again, more of this energy of love, this desire that this person has also, I feel, through this new beginning that they want with you to follow their heart, to answer the call of their heart. They are recognizing that their decisions have taken them further and further away from what resonates with them, what gives them a sense of abundance. This energy, with all this yellow here, and it's speaking, with empowerment and happiness, and that, that this is something that as they are kind of on the other sides of that, they've kind of moved off into this kind of sort of blasé energy. They're recognizing, they're able to kind of look back and see that, they had experienced something more emotionally and energetically than what they are in currently. And there's a desire to kind of return to that, to recapture that lightness, that spark, that joy within their life. There's somebody who's really moving into this space of answering the call of their heart, allowing their heart to take more control in the direction of their life than they had previously. And we also have carrying connection. So this again can speak to this soulmate bond, even a twin flame situation that you're dealing with, and this desire for closeness, really missing you, missing the potential that was there, feeling that a wrong choice was made, and that, to continue on the path that they are on, that it's something that it will really cost them love. They're feeling that their heart is still with you, that they've almost walked away from their heart. They've moved in another direction, but they've left behind, and they have continued to kind of look back and look upon and feel into that place of connection between the both of you. Two different directions here, but two souls that are very much entwined. And we have the World. So this is also reminding me, obviously, of the World card in tarot, which in terms of zodiac signs, for me as a reader, is fixed energy: Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. And this also really speaks to, this desire to kind of put, I feel, an end to a fixed and stubborn way of being, like with that Four of Cups, maybe a belief set, a mind system, a tradition, or a belief system, a mindset or a tradition, the opinions of others that have really been kind of dictating and steering the direction that this person has allowed themselves to go in life. Really some realization that has happened as far as ending that, closing the door on that and setting off in a new direction to, explore a new world, the world of following their heart, the world of living very authentically, answering that call, trusting in that over what others might say, or even the fear of what others might say. This might not have even been anything where a direct kind of judgment of the connection occurred, but this could have all just been a perception that this person had. What would their family think? What would their community think? You both could have been very different, kind of even with this Strength card here with this, this lady and this beast, just this very kind of, this odd couple, almost like this energy of the yin and the yang, but, maybe even just at the surface, just a lot of, differences between the both of you, that as this person was kind of looking at those things, like with this Pentacles energy, energy. Just from the surface, it didn't really add up. It didn't really make sense. And there was almost then this kind of fear of persecution, these thoughts within their mind with the, you know, this energy of the swords over here of kind of what would people think? What would people say? How would this look? And that fear of the unknown, or that fear of, you know, being judged or persecuted, it's something which caused them to kind of retreat from this, to pull away as opposed to explore this more. And we also have the door to romance. So again, really desiring this new beginning with you in love, where they may have been kind of closed off. There is this desire to open up that communication, open up their heart to you, open up to trusting love, to trusting what can come from this love, feeling the call, feeling the pull of their soul towards you, and wanting to really, you know, free both of you, uncage both of you from these feelings that have long been held inside, feelings that maybe were not even given necessarily the full, you know, scope and range to grow, to be explored, to be experienced in the past. And the decision to do that has kind of led to, you know, this person getting further and further from you, but you've never left their heart. This is all energy of the heart here. So, you know, this is definitely, you've been in their heart the whole time, you've been in their mind the whole time. And, you know, it seems like somebody who is finally, and perhaps for the first time, really honoring the call of their heart. So I'm going to get some messages now from this person's higher self. What do they want to say to you, group 3? All right, and they say, you are special to me. I just want you to know that. So despite how they may have kind of ghosted you or kind of pulled away energetically or even literally from this connection physically, it's, you know, not because you weren't enough. It's in fact because you were everything that they were looking for, and in a package that is so different from what they may have kind of perceived for themselves, or what others had kind of perceived or chosen for them, that, you know, that almost that difference, it was just something that was so overwhelming. The fact that you were so special, that could also be, that was quite different for them. They were not used to feeling such an intensity of love, such a connectedness to another person. And so they're having some regrets about the decisions that were made, the choice to kind of cut things off as opposed to explore things deeply with you. And they also say, I want to make things right. I choose you. I choose us being together. So that speaks to that energy of following their heart, acknowledging the call of their heart and answering that. Having taken in the opinions of other people, what others want for them, or what they have perceived for themselves as, you know, what their life should like. And a decision has been made to stop running from this, to stop moving in the opposite direction, to stop moving into this kind of blasé energy, and to instead kind of course correct, move back in the direction toward happiness, to open themselves up, open their heart up to love, where they may have been very closed off in the past. Okay, and they say, I really don't know how to approach you, so that's why it's taking me some time. So they're recognizing you as a very exceptional person. This love is very exceptional. It can be very intimidating, very overwhelming for them. It's something which, you know, they're struggling also to get a handle with that strength card on the fear that they have, to really master that fear, move through that fear, and operate more from a space of trust. So as much as they have this desire to kind of rush in to approach you, they're still kind of navigating their way through that. And they also say, please don't give up on me. So there is this fear that you will have moved on, or that, you know, the difficulties of the past, that this will be too much to overcome, that a lot of time might have gone by, or, you know, just something that you're seeing, on social media, what you're hearing about them. If you know, see them out and about, and they may present to be very, you know, satisfied, very happy with the way things are in their life. And all of this is really, it's a facade that they're trying to kind of untangle themselves from. They're trying to kind of unbind themselves from that, from this cage that they have placed themselves in, this life that they have constructed for themselves, in order to really liberate their heart and move in that direction. And so they're hoping that when they come, that you will still have room for them in your heart, you will still be open to them, and that a new beginning is possible for the both of you once they have kind of navigated and moved beyond this energy of fear. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit for you now, group 3, about this connection. Okay, and we have Earth Angel. You are a light worker who has come to Earth to teach about love. So this is a really beautiful message that to me is speaking of, you know, this space of love, letting love lead the way, trusting that love will conquer in this situation, that this person is really trying to, you know, allow the heart to lead over the mind. This is something where this has been a very educational experience for this person, the choice that they made to move away from the calling of their heart, and the result that that has had for them emotionally, psychologically, and within their soul, that, you know, other things might be going well on the surface, but deep inside there is this longing. And so this person is really moving into this space of answering that call of love, allowing love to shape their life, allowing themselves to trust in love and trust that by following that, by moving in the direction of love, that, you know, beautiful experiences can follow from that. It's a very unknown terrain. This definitely has this energy of kind of breaking with expectations or traditions. But it's something that it's a healing and almost a changing of even a cycle within a lineage of theirs or a bloodline of theirs, some kind of heritage, that they are the person that is meant to kind of break with that tradition, to establish a new way of being, a new precedent that others in the future may follow, in terms of not just doing what is expected or is prescribed by the expectations of others, but really recognizing the call of one's own soul, the call of one's own heart, and in the ways in which they are called to do something different than perhaps their forebears have done or those around them are doing, to really answer that and honor that, and being willing to literally march to the beat of their own drum to kind of change course or deviate from the crowd, that this is a very important act of liberation for others in their past that maybe did not have the ability because of the time that they lived in, or, you know, just the way that the circumstances maybe of this tradition or the way that the world was, that, you know, others in the past may have felt the call of their heart, but it was not possible. Here in this time now, this person, you know, is in a unique position of having a lot more freedom to do that, having a lot more freedom of choice, freedom to express themselves, that this could be something that many before them were called to answer that, to respond to that, to kind of break that cycle, and chose not to. And so the same task has kind of rippled through time, through the generations, and now it's this person's turn to take that mantle, to, you know, really be that liberator, to create that new way of being, that new possibility, that new potential that others can then look to as, you know, a choice, an option, something different than what is just prescribed and kind of mirrored by all of those around them. So I'm going to get some initials now. This can be first, middle, or last name for you or this person, or it can spell something out. All right, so we have B, H, Y, Q, K, I, S, V, and N. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.